provocative.
One of these people could be carrying tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars in illegal drugs. Could it be in that woman's oversized handbag? Or that man's guitar case? Maybe it's in one of these suitcases headed for the cargo hold. Here in Bogotá's El Dorado airport, hiding among the herd of business travelers and tourists is a very different animal. Drug mules carrying cocaine out of the country.
We have
noticed in the last 2 years that the crime of drug trafficking is not only being committed by Colombians. Now, foreigners are also trying to make some money while they're here.
It's just another step in cocaine's evolution. When the police honed in on the profile of a drug mule, Colombian and poor, traveling to the US or Europe, the traffickers had to change tack and started recruiting foreigners.
Every day we see that drug traffickers are always looking for different ways. So one day they'll use a foreigner and put it in their shoes. The next day they'll say, oh, they're onto the shoes, so let's put the cocaine in a jacket.
It's simple economics. A kilo of cocaine can be worth 100 times more on the streets of America and Europe than it is here in Colombia. But first you've got to get it out of the country. Bogotá's El Dorado airport is one of the most policed airports in the world. But the drug mules keep trying. It's the allure of the one-time payoff, up to 10,000 euros, which explains the extraordinary lengths some mules will go to evade the police. Like swallowing condoms or large capsules full of cocaine, as seen in this X-ray of a drug mule's stomach.
Aproximadamente por ahí unas que 70, 80 cápsulas.
¿Y en kilos cuánto se ve eso?
Podría ser un kilo, kilo y medio, aproximadamente, de cocaína.
Today the police have detected some suspicious packages in the baggage of passengers bound for Spain. One of the suitcases belongs to an 18-year-old American. He's carrying enough ketchup and mayonnaise to last a few years. Why? Police take him to a holding room so they can take a closer look at the condiments in question. The rise in foreign drug mules is also linked to a recent phenomenon known as drug tourism. An increasing number of foreigners are traveling to Colombia just to take drugs, despite the dangers. This American, we'll call him Robert, is in his 20s and visiting Colombia for the first time. He hasn't hit any of the tourist sites yet, but he didn't come here to go sightseeing.
Drugs here are just, much purer, it's a lot cheaper. I think it's almost scarier to do it back home because you don't know what people are putting in it. A lot of money could be made for very, very little work if you could bring these things back to your hometown.
Many foreigners end up here, in La Modelo prison in Bogotá.
Normalmente la mayoría son de España.
Most come from Spain, some from Mexico, there are Swiss, Germans. They come from the entire world.
This is Jairo. The story of how he ended up here is a familiar one.
Allá en España.
I lived in Spain, had a job there. I started a business and it went under because of the economic crisis. Someone proposed this idea for me to recover all my money. I thought it sounded easy.
Traffickers offered him 10,000 euros. All he had to do was swallow some capsules full of cocaine and get on a plane.
Pasé por el pasabordo.
They had told me before that you couldn't see this in an X-ray, but it was a lie. They did the X-ray, they found it, and arrested me. Foreigners come and they think they are in the paradise of cocaine, but here in prison they realize the truth.
Back at the airport, the condiment investigation continues. Police get a sample from inside the mayonnaise container. It tests positive for cocaine.
Contaminado con sustancia narcótica.
¿Qué es eso? ¿Qué tienes adentro?
Cocaína. Dígale al abogado.
They weigh the drugs and it comes in at a heavy 4.2 kilos of cocaine. That's a lot for one mule to be carrying. The police think he was convinced by traffickers to carry the drugs, perhaps telling him that they had arranged everything with the police and he would sail right through. Now he's facing 8 years in a Colombian prison.
It's a question of mixed feelings. It's our job to arrest these people, but we know that many do this because they need the money. Their need is taken advantage of to continue the business.
Just before he's put in the police van, the American turns to me and with his voice trembling asks, "What's going to happen to me?" I tried to keep his morale up and tell him that the prisons here are not so bad. But it's a lie. Just one more lie this young man has been told.